There's some damsels in the DM.
Yes, queen.
Tell us what's the vibe. There's some damsels in the DM. Please tell us what's the vibe. DMs, yeah we see them, yeah we read them. DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.
There's some damsels in the DM. Please tell us what's the vibe. DMs, yeah we see them, yeah we read them. DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Damsels in the DMs.
Hello.
So, as you can see, we are on Zoom today because Ash is in Chicago.
I am. But this, I think, is going to be better for our sound. So let's see how it goes. I do miss being in person with you guys, though. I liked that so much better. But this is fine, too.
The vibes may be better in person, but the sound may be better. So we just going to have to see how it goes. But what's up with you guys? What's new? What's the haps?
What is new? I'm in Chicago for a little bit for family. My brother's getting married next or 3 weeks. So it's been a little bit crazy. Family is on top of me now to find someone and get married, as we talked about with the biodata episode.
How is that? I mean, like, now that you're face to face with everyone and like kind of in it.
Well, honestly, there's just so much going on that my parents haven't had that much time to be on top of me about my relationships, but it's chaotic for sure over here.
Do you feel like due to the wedding happening, it creates more pressure because you're like in the zone of thinking about love and marriage, etc.?
Yes. Yeah. No pressure on me. Like, I don't put any pressure on me. I really don't care. But my mom keeps making like side comments about it's going to be my turn next. Yeah. And I was talking to my cousin. She's older than me, so she's like the next in line. And her parents are sending her biodatas, like we talked about, of other guys. And she's just like sending me all of these to like distract me from everything that's happening. And they're intense. Like, these guys are just.
You send us them? I really want to.
Yes, I can. It's not the biodata that I have, but she sends me like the picture of the guy and then like the messages that he does. Apparently she spelled traveling the American way and not the British way. So it was like incorrect spelling. And the guy called her out. He was like, you spelled traveling wrong on your biodata. And she was like,
wait, how did she spell it?
They spell it Travelling. Americans put one L.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
What an
Every
interesting
day.
to call someone out on, though. Like, does it really matter?
Yeah. And then he's also like trying to impress her by being like, oh yeah, I just came back from playing football, soccer, and I work out every day. I love sports. I'm super into sports. Like, I'm very athletic. It's like someone who says that is obviously not.
Yeah, 100% no.
Yeah. So,
What an athlete. What do? You're on a flag football team.
exactly.
But I wanted to chat a bit about ghosting in this week's episode because I feel like, okay, first of all, you guys know in my episodic series, It's a Girl Thing, it focuses all on ghosting. And, I haven't been ghosted in a few years because of my relationship. But back in the day, let me tell you, I was both the ghost and I was both ghosted. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, and I'm interested to hear your opinion. So like, in the years that Brian and I have been dating, I've gotten hit on, as one does. And like, I am a baby about like not being nice about it. Like, I'm not good at just like shutting things down. Like, even if I say like I have a boyfriend, but the guy like presses, then like I'll give my number and just never say anything. What do you think is the strategy on that? Like, I definitely should be upfront, I don't know. Okay. So one example is that I was on set and a guy asked for my number. And like, I thought it was like an actor situation that we were like making contacts, right? But then I get a text from him that was like, I'd love to take you out on a date. So I don't respond.
Oh, no.
I thought we were going to like, form a connection. Like maybe he'd put on one of his things. Maybe I'd put on one of my things, whatever. Then I don't respond. And then he responds like a week later and says something that's along the lines of like, hey, like, I really enjoyed meeting you. I feel like you owe me a response or something. To which I was like,
Whoa.
I really don't think I owe you anything, like, okay, I'll pose the question. Do I owe a response?
Definitely not.
Not at all.
You don't owe anyone anything. In general, nobody owes anyone anything. So the fact that he said that was just mind blowing. Also, I hate those situations where you think it's going to be like, oh, we could just be friends or this might be a work connection. But then as a girl in this industry, I've always now like, I'm the queen of giving out wrong numbers.
Do
Or
you
if you want to contact
really?
me, yeah, I've always given out wrong numbers. And then I walk away. Like I make sure that I'm away from the situation so that he doesn't try calling to see if I'll pick up or it's like ringing, because that they always do that. They always call. So I'll give the wrong number and then I'll walk away. Like I'll just be like, okay, well, I gotta go. Or like just take myself out of the situation. Or I'll be like, I don't feel comfortable giving up my number, but here's my Instagram.
Then do you follow back or no?
No. So they're always going to DM too, right? So they're going to follow you and then they'll DM you to be like, hey, nice to meet you. So whatever that message is, I'll kind of just like see what the tone of that message is to see if I should follow them back or just leave it.
To be fair, you also didn't follow me back for the first of the friendship.
I don't know what your intentions were. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm
Also,
kidding.
You know what's a funny story is remembering when I met Osh and I thought she was like 21, 22. And she was telling me about how she was seeing a guy who was like, what was he? Like in his third, like late
36.
36. And I was like, so worried.
Oh my gosh, she was so concerned.
What is it like dating an older man? Like, I was like, do you guys feel like you're on the same like playing field? And she did. I don't think you picked up that I thought you were so much younger initially.
I think I might have. I think I was like, wait, I'm 28. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. Later on, you were. After I asked you like 20 questions about what it was like to date an older man.
Oh my God, your face, you were so concerned. And this is when we didn't really hang out that much. Like we were just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And she was so concerned. I was like, wow, this could be a good friend.
So neither one of you ghosted each other?
Well, no, not yet. Unless Lauren's planning on it.
You never know. That was the moral of my story, that I could be in years-long relationships and I'm the ghost. But Osh just has that, what is it, Caligari skin glow. So it's hard to tell her age because you never know.
Okay, it's called Kalahari. That was so cute.
I was like, close. Am I right?
You're very close.
You guys, pronunciations are hard.
It's the whole brown don't crack or Asians don't age.
All of the above.
It's that.
Or
It's
buy her
that.
skincare because I'm trying to market you right now.
Or yes, or sorry, if
marketing.
this is all my skincare, it's all my oils. Thank you, Lauren, for being such a great friend.
Okay, but Ash, you have my favorite ghosting stories of all time. So why don't you take it away?
So I think it was like in October 2018. I got onto Bumble. I matched with this guy who was like super cute, Australian. He has like Hindu on his profile for Bumble. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like a white guy that's Hindu. Like this could probably work with my parents, like we'll see where this goes. We like went on a couple dates. It was like perfect. This guy was literally like what I thought was my soulmate. He was so perfect. Like everything was adding up, like the most random things, like our birthdays were one day apart. He was someone who I thought was my soulmate. All these little things were just adding up. We were on the same flight to Dubai. A lot of coincidences that felt like fate and whatever. I've never believed in a soulmate. And this one, I was like, whoa, like maybe I do. And so a few months down the line, he just all of a sudden goes, like stops texting me. And I was like, I was never concerned about this guy leaving me, like talking to other girls. Like I was never concerned about that. What I was most concerned was he was super spiritual. So I was concerned that he was going to go into like an ashram and become like a priest and just like never want to date anyone, just become like a monk or something. Like that was my concern. So he ghosted me and I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. Because he's also like very spiritual, very good at communicating. And this guy just stopped communicating, period. It's like, what happened? And I was like, he's probably dead. Like that was my conclusion. I was like, he's probably dead. Or something really bad happened. Like he's gone. Like I tried reaching out to him. He like would reach out back, but be super vague. And I was like, I don't like where this is going. So I tried a couple times, but then like it was ghosted. It was like literally flat on ghosted. And then 2 months, not even 2 months later, I was hiking Runyon Canyon with my ex-roommate and we're coming down and I see this like really hot, like shirtless Australian. Look, I didn't know he was Australian. Just this like really hot, shirtless, really tall guy walking past me and we make eye contact and I was like, shit, it was him. And so he was like, Osh. And I'm like,
why would he call you if he
Exactly. And I was like,
For
oh
him,
God.
like, oh, time to start jogging.
Literally run. He like gave me 2 kisses on the cheek and I was so stunned because I was
don't.
yeah, and I was never I never expected to see this person ever again. And I was actually really heartbroken like about him, that I just was like, I was just shocked. It was the weirdest experience. I think I like blacked out in that moment. And then he introduces me to the person that he's with, and it was this girl and her dog. And he's like, this is my girlfriend. And I forgot what the name was. And I was just like, what? Like, excuse me? I was just so shocked and speechless that I gave her a hug. And I was like, hi, nice to meet you.
My God,
And then I
you're
like
nice.
pulled back and I was like, what am I doing? And then I was like, we got to go by. And we just walked. It was the most awkward experience of my life. And I was expecting him to like at least text me and be like, hey, I'm really sorry about what happened. Like, here is an explanation of why I ghosted. Nothing.
Why do we do that? Like, why do we have that immediate impulse to just like, oh, I'll just be nice and
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, what? Like, there was no need for me to do that. What I should have done is been like, hey, and then just kept walking.
Right.
You know,
Or not said anything.
Or not saying anything at all. Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
into your jog.
Yeah, run away. I was going downhill too, so I would have been like. So maybe a year later, I was hanging out with my friend who was helping me with my skincare stuff, like logos and stuff, and he was asking me about my dating situation, and it was, or not even a year, maybe 6 months later, and I was just like so freaked out by being ghosted, and I think that was the first time I ever like truly got ghosted. I was so freaked out by that experience. I was like, oh, I'm not dating anyone. Like, I thought I met my soulmate, and it didn't turn out. And he was like, oh, what's the story? So I told him, and he was like, wait. I didn't even tell him the person's name. He was like, wait, I think I know who you're talking about. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, my friend's dating him. And that same friend is the girl that was the girlfriend. And I was like, what?
Oh.
And he was like, yeah, I remember a few months ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was in that same time when I ran into him, and then I saw my friend. But he was like, yeah, a few months ago, I remember her telling me about him, how he's like Australian, really cute, very spiritual, like into meditation. And he was like, is his name? And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And he was like, he probably overlapped you guys and then just chose her.
Did he tell the girl, the friend?
No, I don't know. And I was just like, she just seemed really nice. Like the girl, when I met her, I do remember her just being really nice. And she just seemed really young and just naive and just really nice. And I was like, I really hope this guy, I don't know.
It's also weird just like how small LA can be. Like, I feel like there's so many weird connections that you just do not anticipate.
Yeah. And that was one of them that I was just like, whoa,
yeah,
this city is small. And also, when you want to run into people, you don't. But then the times that you don't want to run into people, you run into them and you're like, no, I was not ready for this. Like
100%.
there were so many times that I wanted to run into him, like looking really cute and like, you know, doing my own thing. And I never ran into him. And then the one time that he caught me off guard was when I was done with the hike, but just like super tired and nothing
never
to
run
say.
into anyone when I look good, ever.
Yeah.
When I was in Michigan, there was this guy that I was talking to, and we hit it off really well. It started off strong, and we were just enjoying a lot of time together. Eventually, like, he started getting a little more indulgent in drinking and partying, and it just got way too intense. I was just like slowly trying to make my distance, not necessarily ghosting, but just trying to like back off. And I found out like later on that he ended up getting into like some car accident with a car that wasn't even his, and he was drunk. So then there was a DUI situation, then he got arrested. It was just a lot. So his mom had actually contacted me. She was like, oh, this is what's going on. Da-da-da. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't know what I can do. You know, I was trying to be as supportive as possible, but at the same time, like with the distance. Eventually he got out, tried contacting me, and it was like already at the point where I was just like, yeah, I made my peace. I was like, this is not for me. And like, because of the time that had passed, it was just like, okay, it seems normal for us to like just, you know, back off and like walk away. Because of how much time he like just jumped in. It was like a Facebook message that he tried reaching out to me, and he was just like, oh, you know, I'm down to pick up where we left off, this and that. It was so bizarre because I was just like, we haven't even developed any more rapport since we dropped off. Didn't say anything. A few weeks later, sends me another message. Oh, hey, you know, if ever you feel like hooking up sometime, you know, I'd definitely be open to that. It was just like, how do you jump from us not talking to then, oh, like, let's pick up where we left off, to then let's hook up? Like,
wow.
That really bothers me when people are like, okay, like first the expectation is relationship, and then either on your end or their end, it's not going to work out. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, since you don't want that, how about we move on to like just a hooking up relationship? Like, why would you be like, oh, okay, yeah, that one. I'll take option B. Thank you.
Desperado.
Okay, I do have thoughts on not getting ghosted, and I'm interested to hear your take. So when I advise in my personal life friends on how to not get ghosted, my number one tip, and I say this because when I went to Occidental before I transferred to USC, I, enjoyed my single self before Brian in my pre-Brian days. We call them the PBD, pre-Brian days. The school is so small that everyone knows everyone. And there is no way that you will not run into people. Like breakfast, you will see people. Lunch, you will see people. Dinner, there are 2 places to eat on campus. And that's it. That's all you got. To not get ghosted, because these people could not ghost me because they knew they were going to see me breakfast, lunch, dinner, at the gym, at cycling classes, walking to class, everywhere. You got to insert yourself too much in their social circles. This is what I mean. You go to an outing, you meet one of their friends, right? Hey, how are you? Oh, you like this? I like this? No way. You are overly nice. So their inner circle starts to like you. All you got to do is find a way to insert yourself too much that way they have to some kind of an answer because the other people want to see you again.
That is smart. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Now the question that you may be thinking right now is, but Lauren, we only went on 2 dates. Lauren, there was no opportunity to insert myself in their social circle. How would I do such a thing? No. You look through their Instagram.
Oh God, here we go.
You see who they're friends with. You find even one connection with them, one person who might follow them. You follow nobody, that you guys have nobody in common, then, questionable situation. Then
yeah,
answers for you. But also, I believe that social circles with the person you're dating are just as important as the relationship. Like, I think who the person surrounds themselves with is just as important as dating them because, I think who somebody surrounds themselves with says so much about them.
I agree. I definitely agree. I now, looking back at all my old relationships, like all the shitty ones, looking at their friends, I'm like, oh, should have saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Red flags all over.
100%.
Oh, okay. So have you ever ghosted someone?
I'm sure I have back in the day. I'm sure I have.
Have you?
I feel like I have, yeah.
I know I have. I met someone in Chicago like a few years ago before I moved to LA. Really cute model, like just very cute. That's it. Personality was kind of like really, really annoying. But I ghosted him when I was in Chicago because he was really clingy and really annoying. And then I moved to LA, and a few years later, he moved to LA as well. And I ran into him at a casting. And I was like, oh God, but this is like during COVID. So we're wearing masks. And I'm like, oh, maybe he won't recognize me. But he did. And I was like, okay, he doesn't seem as annoying anymore. Like maybe, let's hang out. So we hung out. Very clingy, very annoying, and just like very needy. And I hated it. So I tried to ghost him and he would not get the hint. So I had to send a message, and I asked our friend Sophia to help me because I was like, I don't know what to do. This guy won't leave me alone. And this is the second time I'm trying to ghost him. Like, he should get the hint. And also when we hung out, he was like, you're not going to ghost me, are you? And I was like, I am. Like, I straight up said, no, I am. So he should have. When I said it in a jokey way, but still, he should know that it's not.
I can't believe you said that straight up. You're like, no. yes.
yes. Good job. Correct. So I tried, and then so I got Sophia to help me, and we like sent him a message that was like,
what a professional ass message, probably.
Yeah, no, I made it a little more casual.
It was probably like, dear so and so, I regret.
Hello, darling.
All of you, sincerely.
Basically, it was that, but then I just made it more casual. And I was just like, hey, I just have a lot of stuff going on. I think you're a great person, whatever, And he was like, thanks for being honest. I understand. I was like, oh, that was so easy. But I should know better. That's not that easy because he's going to come back. And he did. A few days later, he was like, you want to go to the beach or go longboarding? And I was like, I didn't respond. And I was like, what out of my message do you not understand? And so I didn't respond. And then a few days later, do you want to go on a hike and get some brunch? I don't respond. And he keeps doing that. And honestly, like I said my message, and it was a really nice long message explaining why I just didn't, I was like, I just don't see this going anywhere. And I was really honest in my response. After him not getting the hints, that's how I ghosted. I was like, you know what? I don't need to respond to this person anymore. If he's not going to understand my whole message, why I said that I don't want to be with you, he's never going to understand. It's just, I'm okay to ghost,
I also don't know that that's ghosting. If you set your expectations.
Yeah, true.
Ghosting is more when like somebody like literally falls from the face of the earth. Like the guy, the Australian that you were seeing.
Yeah, no, that was a ghost situation. I tried though with this one. I really tried, but he just kept messaging me so much that I had to force myself out of the ghosting and just let him know that I couldn't do it.
I also think that like women will string you along more than they're willing to ghost. Like they will keep like being nice and responding to your
Yeah,
messages more than like men will just cut you off completely.
I agree. It's so much easier, I feel like, for men to just like, I don't want her.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's ghosting in the LGBTQ community, Alejandro?
I'd say so. I'm just thinking about dating apps when I was on them. It was like reciprocal. It was like I would be ghosted or I would be ghosting. It's kind of like a weird balance. We're just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll just move on. But the thing with those, it's kind of like a game, as
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Jo Sales mentioned in her episode. There is this instant gratification that takes place. I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, ghosting is, you're kind of like stuck in either role if you're not really compatible with someone or if they don't find you really compatible. Yeah, I don't know. That's like the sticky situation with those sorts of things. Although, I do understand, like, not only friends of mine, but other people have found successful relationships through those sorts of tools. Everyone has a different experience, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say, I like the mutual ghosting technique.
No.
None of you feel bad. You're like, oh, we kind of realized it's not going anywhere. We didn't have to have that conversation. It's easy. I'm not a confrontational person. And I don't know if I've already talked about this on the show, but I am not confrontational at all. So I'd rather just like brush things under the rug and like, just slowly back out of a situation. I don't like sending those messages that are like, hey, I'm really sorry, but it's not working out. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to send that. That's why I get friends to like help me do those messages and then they press send. So I'm just like not really a part of it. But yeah.
So to sum it all up, is ghosting wrong? And does anybody owe anybody anything, just like as human beings? A, is ghosting acceptable? C, is it dependent on situation?
Totally dependent on situations.
Yep, dependent on situations. For the most part, I don't think you owe anyone anything, especially if you don't know them. If it's a relationship, then yes, like, there has to be that mutual respect and it's not owing, it's just wanting to. So I don't think anyone owes anyone anything, but except for respect if they deserve it.
I agree, especially like what you were saying, where if you're in a relationship for whatever, like a month, several months, the other person deserves some sort of explanation. For me, I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. I don't want to make someone feel like how I would not want to feel, because how karma perpetuates itself is just, no, I'm not doing that.
Karma's real.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She is real.
I really like what you said, Osh, that it's like about respect at a certain point, because I think that's true. Like, because you can tell, like, is this person like deserving of respect? Like, is this person deserving of my time and a response? Because I think like, if they are, and if that person has treated you well, then like, yeah, you can give them a, sorry, I don't see this working out. But like you said, if it's a once-off thing, or if it's something that like the person was treating you poorly, then I think it's fine to be the ghost because you knew it wasn't going to go anywhere anyway.
Definitely.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. It's been another episode of Damsels in the DMs.
Until next time,
It's going down in the DM. Bye.
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 DMs, we don't need them, we just leave them.
Please.
Yeah.
It's going down in the DMs. Bye.